Hello and welcome back to Redirecting. I am going to be talking about a subject that is very important that many have talked about both on this channel and the Watchman Reports and so many other channels as well. And it's been talked about for so long that I don't even know why it's still a subject. But unfortunately it is. It's still a subject because we still have not reached any type of solution to this very serious problem of black unity, or should I say lack thereof. Now, you'll hear people, small segments of people in the comment section say, well, we can do this, we can do that. And they'll say that you're being negative for even bringing up the subject. And no, there's no negativity here. We're pointing out the obvious. We're talking about this subject because we want to achieve black unity. We would like to see it, but it's not something that we are seeing. Okay, it's not something that is happening. And there are a number of different reasons why, in which most of us don't understand. The reason why we can't achieve black unity is because we have divided minds. The scripture talks about a house divided against itself. Now, if we, as so-called black people worldwide, saw ourselves as a house, you can understand where I'm coming from better, okay? Because it says a house divided against itself cannot stand. And so that's where we are. There's no black unity worldwide because we are a house divided against ourselves. We are not on one accord. We're not even close to it. There are so many thoughts and ideas floating around out there, so many different perceptions, lifestyles, thought patterns, and just so many different things. Lifestyles is one of the biggest things, because you'll have those who want to live a certain way, and then you have those who live all the way on the other side of, or the opposite of how others are living. You have some who have the thug lifestyle. You have some who have the laid-back lifestyle. You have those who want to experience life traveling the world. You have those who want to live the farm life. I mean, so many different thought processes going on. And when you think about this as well, you have some with criminal minds and some with righteous minds. Okay, then you have some people who have lost their mind. I mean, so many different things happening in the so-called black community. Now, I know that other groups as well, other races as well, have some of these same issues, but I am talking about the black community right now. Okay, and that's who I'm talking to. When I look at what happened in Zimbabwe, where they are compensating white farmers, that's one of those issues that just kind of make you say, this is where our problem is. We are beholden to everyone else but ourselves. You have people in Zimbabwe suffering, people in Zimbabwe who are having a hard time, who are struggling just to live, but the government of Zimbabwe feels more pressure, or should I say, feels more, he feels more apt to give white farmers reparations. Worldwide, we can't even get reparations for slave labor and the theft of land and all kinds of things that have happened to us as a people. But our people, we feel more anxious and just, oh, I have to do this. I have to right this wrong, okay? But no one is righting wrongs as it relates to us. And so it goes to show you that we look out for other people before we look out for our own. And so that's one of the biggest problems with black unity that we have. There was recently a fella who he gave up one of his organs to a child in France. Okay? Now, I'm not going to speak too much on this subject. Okay? All I know is a black man gave one of his organs to a child in France. I don't know much about the child. All I know is he's from France. He's French. This black man felt like, I want to give one of my organs. And in the process, he dies. He loses his life. Okay? Now, the reason I'm not going to talk much on this is because some of you are not going to understand where I'm coming from in even talking about this. You'll say, well, it was a child. My question in all of this was, would he have given that same organ to a child in Africa? That was my question. Okay? Would this black man have felt the need to give up that same organ to a child in Africa? Okay, I'm going to rest my case on that. Some of you know what I'm talking about, okay? Even some of you Gentiles know what I'm talking about, because I have a lot of Gentiles who follow my channel and who know where I'm coming from, okay? Or maybe they're pretending, I don't know. But they know where I'm coming from what they say, some of the messages I receive from Gentiles as well. This thing that we have against our own people is sickening, and the sound of it is deafening. The sound of this lack of black unity and lack of cohesion is so loud. It is staggering. But yet we are the first ones to scream and shout to the mountaintops about how we need black unity, but we're not willing to do what it takes to get it. Because real, true black unity means that you have to give up something, okay? Most of us aren't willing to give up anything. Most of what you have to give up are things that you've grown attached to, things that this world has to offer. It's entertainment, it's music, it's lifestyles, the things that they put in front of you to keep your mind occupied and gutterized. The things that they provide for you, that this world provides for you, you're not willing to give them up. And a lot of our people don't have the mind of unity because everyone wants to be the head honcho. Everyone wants to be in charge and be the boss. But at the same time, they want to kick up their feet. You see, there's so much going on to why we can't achieve black unity. And therefore, I think it's a joke. You have people like Candace Owens. Huge joke. She sat up and testified of how she was the victim of a hate crime. She talked about it and talked about so many other things, but yet she is one of the strongest voices for white supremacy right now that I've heard in a long time. Now I hear those such as Jesse Peterson and so many others who are strong defenders of white supremacy. But when I see a black woman like Candace Owens who has expressed that she has been the victim of a hate crime, you've been the victim of a hate crime, but yet you are screaming to the mountaintops about how white supremacy doesn't exist. So again, you have all of these different mindsets present in the black community. Then what about those who decides that when they get any amount of wealth, any amount of money, any amount of prestige or fame or fortune, that they would prefer to marry someone else outside of their race? They want to marry a Gentile, a white man, a white woman, an Asian man, Asian woman, somebody other than a black person. That's another problem. You get your money and your wealth and you bounce it right out the door. And you take it right over to the people who have oppressed the whole world for so long. And yet you think you're doing something cute. You think you're improving yourself. You think you are improving your lineage, improving your future. Now, for the moment, you may be doing that, but you're whiting yourself out first of all. Because once you're done developing this family, most of them will not marry back into the black. They're going to continue to white you out till you don't even exist anymore. You see, and I'm talking about your grandchildren. You're going to be whited out. And so all of this that we see happening in the black community is the result of a divided mind. Just like the scripture says, a house divided against itself cannot stand. And then let's talk about the criminal mindset. You have those who wouldn't dare lift a finger. Not saying that they should, but they wouldn't dare lift their finger against another nation. But for their own, they will knock you upside your head faster than they would do it to anyone else. They will break in your house, steal from you, kill you, rob you, lie on you, cheat on you, steal from you, and I already said steal from you, didn't I? But they will do these things and don't have a conscience about it. Okay? And so how could you have any type of unity or cohesion with a person who would do such things to you? How can you dare have any type of oneness with a group of people who see you as a target? And see, these are the things that we're not talking about when we're screaming for black unity. Now, on a small scale, it's achievable short term. And the reason why I say this is because anytime someone pulls together a group and try to do something positive, there's always some snake in the grass who slithers in, who looks just like the rest of us, who comes in to bust it all up. Because there's a spirit alive among black people, in which I believe the Most High has done this because we're trying to do it our way. We don't want to do it his way. As long as we try to do things our way, it's always going to fall apart. You see, it's always going to fall apart. And so this is why we're unable to achieve black unity, because there are so many different mindsets. So many different mindsets. Most of us are more anxious to help other people than we are our own. We don't see each other as brothers and sisters. We don't see each other as family. We hate on one another. If you get a little bit too much, another brother or sister can't stand it, and something inside of them eats away at their core to where they can't deal with it. Instead of being happy for you. And then also the mindset of not wanting to support each other's businesses. I've seen how a black person will go and spend a whole bunch of money. As a matter of fact, I'm going to talk about one brother in particular. I did a video where there was a brother inside of a Chinese restaurant, and this place was filthy. And he just talked about how he just bought $40 worth of food from this nasty place. Now, he went in the back area, so I'm sure in the front there's some type of indication that that place is filthy. But out of sight, out of mind is how he deals with it. You go in there and you spend $40 and you're complaining about them not getting your stuff to you in time, and you're looking at this and you're filming this. This had to be some type of sick joke. I want to believe that this is some type of sick joke, and somebody's going to message us and say, oh, the brother really wasn't eating the food. He just wanted to get the stuff on camera. But he's talking about how he spent $40 on that food from that nasty, filthy place. But yet, if a brother or sister opened up a restaurant, like one brother, he said he was selling organic food, organic chicken dinners. And he had people complaining about his prices, but yet you'll take yourself to one of these filthy, nasty Asian restaurants, give these people $40 for some food out of a cesspool of a kitchen. This is where we have our problems. Black unity is a joke. We don't take each other serious. Look on the continent of Africa. You have people telling us, leaders in Africa telling us that we should not pay attention to their misdeeds. The fact that they are taking billion-dollar bribes and giving away all of the resources of Africa to the European nations, Western countries, Eastern countries, okay, Asians, telling the people to look the other way while they continue to squander the wealth and the people of Africa suffer. But yet you think we can achieve black unity? Yet again, black unity is a joke, because we don't look out for each other. We look out for everyone else but us. Everyone else but us. I mean, I'm pretty sure all of us can compile stories of situations that we've been involved in to where our own people did something so heinous to where you can't even wrap your mind around the fact that someone could even do such things. I'm pretty sure many of us have been on the receiving end of black people doing something low down and dirty to you. This is a subject that we can just talk forever and ever about. You can just talk forever and ever about it. And it's a sad story to even talk about, to even have to talk about, but it's the reality that we face today. Most of us don't even think the same. So how can you achieve black unity when most of us don't even think the same? Most of us don't have the same ideas. We don't have the same desires. We don't have the same visions. We just don't. But yet we call for black unity. Black unity is not being able to come together and have some party or some get together. It goes far beyond that. You have people who are all lip, all mouth when it comes to stating what they will do, but when it comes to actually putting their hand to the plow, that's when everything fades, when it comes to putting their hand to the plow. We know what we have to do, family. We know what we must do, but we stop short of doing that. We are not doing what we must do. There is so much that needs to be done, especially with this economy the way it is. This economy is so whack right now that things look very dismal. But where do we find ourselves? We find ourselves in a very awkward situation. Very awkward and strange situation. And if we don't get our minds together, family, we're going to run into a lot of difficulties as a people. Because we have been given this, I'm going to say, life candy. We've been given this life candy from people who are sent to distract you. They distract us with all of this nonsense. And we don't even know what's coming. It's kind of windy out here. We don't even know what's coming, family. I think I'm going to go ahead and close out this video on black unity. I had so much more I wanted to say, but I don't like to make the videos too long. Some of your patience or your attention ranges right around 7 minutes, and I think I've gone well over that. Some of you listen to the end, but some of you only the first few minutes. But anyway, these are subjects we need to talk about, family. And I know the solution is not going to come through hearing people talk about the need for black unity. The solution is not going to come through that. But the solutions will come through the realization that it is needed. And that in order to achieve it, we might have to cut loose large segments of our population. I like that saying that many people say. They say, all skin folk ain't kinfolk. You see? And that simply means that just because somebody looks like you doesn't mean that they are for you. A lot of our people are just as much our enemy as our enemies. You see? That is the sad reality we face. Some of them are more of an enemy than those who we consider to be our enemies. It is what it is, family. Those are the facts. It is what it is. I'm going to go ahead and close this out, family. And with that, I will say shalom.